All right, people. So this is a beautiful day, and I'm here with my colleague Olanihi. So today we're going to be talking about what it takes to be in the military and what keeps you going. So, Specialist Olanihi, tell me, what is it like to be in the military?
Well, it's like regimented life. You basically don't know what you're doing the next day until you get a message like late hours of the day before, and then every day you have to follow rules and regulations that you would normally not follow in your daily life. You can't call in sick just because even if you're dying, you still have to show up to work to tell them you're dying.
But then, so what motivates you to get up every day? So what motivates you to keep going? What is somebody who is trying to join the service now should have in order to join?
Well, the basic thing is good work ethic. Apart from it being a military where there are so many rules and everything, and it's so different from civilian life, of course, but one thing you just need is having that work ethic, knowing that it's just another job at the end of the day. You have to get to work early. You have to do what you have to do. You have to be where you should be. The difference is the level of discipline that you have to follow because of the rules. But if you have the basic work ethic, even when you know that it's not about the punishment, it's about just knowing that you want to do the right thing at all times. That's the major thing. And then for motivation, you're getting paid. The work hours are not too bad. So.
All right, so the next question I have for you is, on a day-to-day basis, how was your day like? As compared to like civilian work, you know that today I have this and that. How was your routine like in the military?
One thing is that there is so much repetitiveness in the military. You do basically the same thing every day, almost the same way. And then, so for instance, I wake up 5:15 every day. Even when my alarm doesn't go off, I will probably be awake to turn off my alarm before it goes off. And then you are almost always at the same place at the same time every day. So sometimes it gets boring because people don't like anything that is repetitive generally. But at the same time, it helps you to be able to have a system that works. You already know how to plan your life because you know that, okay, this is what is going to happen tomorrow, but at least even if you find out late. So, and when something new is not coming up, you can almost predict what is going to happen the next day. So at that way, you know that, okay, nothing new is going on. You show up at work at a particular time, you do PT, you do this, you do that. Everything is almost the same every day. So you can almost go into autopilot without having to think too much about it. Another good thing that can also be bad is you get instructions. The bad part of it is that you are not allowed to use your discretion for many things. You cannot really show your individuality in the military. So that can be a bad thing. But on the other side of it, if you're a kind of person that you don't even care about doing things based on your own discretion, you rather just be given instruction and you follow, then it can be a positive thing for you. That means you don't even have to think much about it. Just follow instructions.
So what exactly will you tell somebody who is trying to join, a civilian who is trying to join the service? What would you tell them? Would you give them advice to join, or you would tell them do not join?
Well, what I would say is, before you join, try and talk to as many people as you can who have served, because military service is not the same for two people, because it depends on your NCO, depends on your unit, it depends on the post where you are.
It also depends on the individual.
Too. So military service can be different so if you get the information from many people, it will help you prepare your mind for what you're about to go into. And as far as telling people to join, what I would say is, if I can go through basic training and join the military, I believe that anybody can do it. So, and it is really rewarding.
So it's all got to do with the mindset of the individual.
Your mindset has to
and determination.
Yes.
That yes, I can do this, even though there is Yeah, so as we were saying, there's gonna be bumps on the way. There's gonna be things that you did not plan or you don't expect to be, but it has to be the individual willingness to continue or the mindset, the determination to continue, because there is always a saying that with determination you can do anything.
And the thing is, there are days that you wake up and ask yourself, why did I sign that contract?
True.
But then with that determination and the good mindset, you will just be able to push yourself through. You see people serving 20 years in the military, it's not because they are superhuman. It's because they just wake up every day to reassure themselves that, okay, I want to do this and I want to give it my all. So then that's another thing. Don't come into the military with the mindset of just goofing off or just doing anything. If that is like, you just want to see how it goes, don't do it. Don't do it. Come with a fixed mindset that you want to do it and you want to put all your mind in it.
All right, so the next question I have for you is, what is life in the military like for someone who's an hotel, you know, which is cargo specialist? What is it like?
Okay, so as a cargo specialist, basically you are a forklift operator. That's what we're called, or cargo handler. And your job is to move stuff from one place to another. Every once in a while, you get to drive Humvees and LHS or LMTV to take people from one place to another. But basically, you are moving cargo. That's the major thing you're doing. So you get to know how to drive all those military vehicles, and then you also get to know how to use the equipment. But one of the major things is that it's a very practical job. You are going to get your hands dirty. If you like to work with your bare hands, you're going to get a lot of it as a cargo specialist. You're not going to be sitting at the back of a desk in an office.
As a hotel, how does that work translate or relate to the civilian world if the person finished serving and then wants to work in the civilian side?
Okay, so while you are in the military, because in the military we follow civilian rules too, and then military rules, you get licenses for the vehicles that you operate. The licenses you get for things like LHS, LMTV, when you take it to the civilian world, they can help you fast track your licenses for driving trucks and driving forklifts and everything, or getting the license outside the military. So that kind of gives you a head start because you have the training. And then when you are in the civilian world, just like I said, you can be a truck driver, you can be a forklift operator for big warehouses like Amazon and all those other warehouses. You can also train people on how to do those things. So basically, it's always going to be easy for you to transition because you already have that training. And because, like I said earlier, it is hands-on. You get to work with your hands a lot. You get to have it's a practical job. Being able to do it, to replicate it in the civilian world will be easy. At that point, you are not wearing the uniform and the boots. You're wearing something comfortable, and then you can do the job. And the military training itself, apart from your MOS, which is the cargo specialist or forklift operator, the discipline you have as a former military person would also go into, because those jobs require a lot of safety requirements and all this, and those are the things we emphasize in the military. So by the time you transition into civilian world, you have that mindset already that safety. It's not just about having the skill, it's about knowing how to do your job diligently and doing it in such a way that you are ensuring safety.
All right, so you did say something like the person wearing civilian clothes will be much comfortable. Are you saying the uniform is not comfortable?
Well, it depends on how you see it, because just like I said, the regimented life, or how you have to wear the uniform, how you have to put all these things in place. When you are dressing up for like a casual office work, where you don't have to put a tie on a suit, you can be as free as possible with you wear something very comfortable. You can wear a round neck and everything to work. It depends on the job you have. But in the military, you can't just decide to wear something casual today or something that fits the weather or something. If they say put on summer uniform in dead of winter, you have to follow instructions. Unlike in the civilian world where you can just use your discretion. So those little differences is what makes it more flexible in the civilian world than in the military.
All right, people. So we talked about the life as a hotel in the military. Now, myself, I am a November, which is transportation specialist. So when we say transportation specialist in the military, we basically move. It's more the same as a hotel, but ours are more to do with personnel, equipment, like everything that involves the military. So that will be like when a unit is deploying, we have to make sure that all their personnel, all their equipment, everything that they need to make sure their work goes smoothly, we have to make sure that we do our very best to make sure those things get to the destination they're going before even the work start. So I know people will be like, oh, I want to join the military, but I don't know what work I am going to do. Listen, there's one thing I'm going. So if you want to join the military and you're thinking of, oh, I would not get what I want to do, or I don't know what kind of job I want to do, this is what I have to tell you. You can still join the military, get the job that is available for you at that particular point in time, and then you can always reclass and get the job of your choice. Because most of the times what people do is, because they don't get exactly what they want during the time of their processing, they end up backing out, and meanwhile they really want to join the service. So I just want to say, with me, for instance, I wanted to be what do you call it, human resources, when I was trying to join, but then I got this instead. And when I joined, I kind of find out I like this job where, like, you tend to grow to love what you do. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that you can't. So with that being said, that does not mean you cannot get to exactly where you want to be in the military. And if there is one place that you can get all your dreams come true, it's in the military, because they pay you to go to school. You know, they pay you to upgrade yourself and improve yourself. So I'm urging anybody out there who wants to be in the service and thinking that they
cannot pay you to take care of yourself medically.
True. So if you thinking that you cannot join because of one or two, I would say, as my colleague said, talk to somebody who's been in the service for a while, or an ex-service member, or a recruiter, or somebody, and get as much information as you can possibly get. Anything you want to add before we wrap up today?
Okay. I would also say, like, talk to a lot of people. Not try as much as possible to not rely only on recruiters, though, because so recruiters generally have the tendency to paint a good picture for you, and because they are trying to get you to just sign that document. So talk to somebody who is serving, talk to somebody who is in the unit that you are looking to get into. So find out more. Don't just rely on the internet. As a matter of fact, no matter how much information you get on the internet, it's going to constitute like 10% of what the military really is about. If you look up basic training, I promise you are not going to be prepared for basic training from just YouTube videos.
True.
So just talk to somebody who has been there on a personal note, that can be honest with you about their experience. And then you put all these things together, then you talk to a recruiter. And then at that point, you'll be able to have the right questions to ask your recruiter, and be able to make the right demands before you sign those dotted lines. And at the end of the day, you can make the right choice, because there are some things you should benefit from the point you are getting into the military. If you don't get them, you won't get them again.